Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel, and today we're going to play I Wonder Where My Baby Is Tonight. I Wonder Where My Baby Is Tonight was a request for Kevin, one of my supporters on Patreon. It's a song from the 1920s and it was recorded by Hot Club of Paris in 1939. I'm going to show you the very simple basic melody and then Grapelli's version of the melody. So the basic version, this is actually a Charleston in the sense that it has one little phrase. That's the Charleston, that's that little bit there, which doesn't actually appear on the vocal line. It's probably an instrumental thing. But I'm going to give you the vocal line. In fact, because it's so simple, I'm going to do it straight away with the backing. Now, played like that, it's extremely uninspiring, but I do think it's always valuable to learn the core of the melody of these kind of things, because what we're going to look at in a minute, the Grapelli version, it doesn't have a lot of the original melody in there, and if you're going to improvise your own solo or follow behind someone else playing it, then knowing the core melody is a very valuable thing. So I do suggest you work on that. You can work on the basic melody as the starting for your own solo, doing things like so I'm just kind of swinging up and shaking up the melody but staying very close to it. And normally what Grapelli does, he will play a few phrases at the beginning of his melody and then you kind of break away almost straight away. So from that point of view, his melody is not very helpful, but that is what we're going to try. So, first thing is he's going up an octave, which is a sensible thing to do because it cuts through better. So we're starting. Two big swoops to the F sharp and the A. And we do have that little Charleston, and that is an answering phrase, a kind of a roll around the E. Then up to third position, a swoop up to the A, so what's happened there? The chord is a D7, but it's been changed to a D sharp diminished. And this is a common trick which Grapelli does a lot and a lot of other people do, changing a seventh chord or a dominant chord into a diminished chord. The way I normally think of it is work from the seventh of the chord, so it's a D, so we're going to build our seventh around the flat 7. And really you have to learn the fingerings for these arpeggios. There's only 3 of them for all of the diminished chords, but I'm going to do at some point I'll do a video on the diminished chord. Okay, so let's just go up to there again. one other thing, those are quarter note triplets, ya ba 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 ba, and they're perfect for a medium tempo tune like this. You can add them almost anywhere on top of the melody or within your solo, and if you don't know how to count a quarter note triplet, then I do have a video explaining that. And at the end of that line, we've got a fourth finger slide up to the octave harmonic, which is right in the middle of the string. And that's something Grapelli does a lot. Then we've got fourth finger in the third position. So that's a kind of a trill, first and second finger. And then another common Grapelli thing is to start your next phrase a beat or a half a beat after the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That last bit is kind of a filling thing, which Grapelli does a lot, and he does it really well, where nothing very much is happening, but he's just kind of keeping things going. Another thing he might do, you probably recognise that as a thing he often does in that same position. Let's just do that line again. 3, 4, 1. So this is another classic phrase. So it's over a C chord, and this normally does happen over a C chord or something in C. Third finger on the C note. Fourth finger is playing an E flat. And it's sliding up and sliding down again. And remember that phrase, because exactly the same phrase happens later on in the solo. Let's just do that line again. Then. So this is another kind of filling phrase. I'll just do it again. 1, 2. Then so the first trill happens over an A minor, where it's the sixth of the chord, and then it happens over a E7. So it's now a flat ninth of the E7. Then so happening now over an A minor 7, we've got exactly the same lick, but going down to a G. So let's do all of that, first of all slow and then up to speed. 1, 2, 3. Now you probably know that I don't recommend learning whole Grapelli solos, and the reason I've done it here is I think of this more as a Grapelli melody rather than the solo, because it can kind of act as the melody even if it's not very close to it. But if you're going to play this in a gig, then this will be your first time round, and your second time round you would want to improvise something. And normally I do suggest trying to stay fairly close to the chords, especially when they're doing interesting things as they are here. But for some reason I find it easier to kind of bluff these chords and stay close around G. So I'm going to give you a solo to finish up to speed. No, actually I'll play the melody once, then I'll play a solo where I will pretty much ignore the chords, as is my wont. Okay, so let's have a go. Solo. Okay, not my finest work, but yeah, I think I more or less got away with that. Okay, if you would like to have a copy of the sheet music for the basic version and the Grapelli melody, then do subscribe to the channel, send me an email, I will send you a PDF. And there are lots of other PDFs of gypsy jazz tunes also available on my Patreon, and you can get hold of all of those in one go on the Patreon. So do please consider joining me there. Thanks for watching, see you again soon.